Okay, we are moving on to chapter 3, which covers logic. And in section 3.1, we're going to go over statements, connectives, and quantifiers. Now, in logic, we'll be dealing with statements, which they're all declarative statements that can be either true or false. And in this chapter, statements will be represented by lowercase letters. Now, back in chapter 2, sets were always represented by capital letters, but statements will be represented by lowercase. And here are 4 examples of statements. I'll let you read those to yourself. 2 of them are considered simple statements, and 2 of them are considered compound. A simple statement just contains a single idea, where a compound statement contains several ideas. And a compound statement will be connected. The words used to join these ideas of a compound sentence are called connectives. And they'll be words like and or. There are other ones, but those are the main 2. So in those 4 examples, the simple statements contain a single idea. So A, AIDS is a leading killer of women. That is a simple idea, and it is either true or false. It's actually false. Heart disease is the leading killer of women. And then C, in the last 10 years, we have reduced 25% of the amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere that produce global warming. They're only talking about one thing there, so that's a simple statement. Compound statements contain several ideas. So on B it says, if you eat less and exercise more, you will lose weight. They're talking about 2 different things, eating less and exercising more. And then in D, they're talking about 2 different people, Oprah Winfrey or Steven Spielberg had the highest earnings in the internet, blah, 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 blah. So that word and or, that's your connective, which is what identifies it as a compound statement. All right, now, what are the connectives? There are actually 5 categories: negation, conjunction, disjunction, conditional, and biconditional. And we're going to cover the first 3 in this section and the next 2 in further sections. Okay, let's start with the negation. A negation is a statement expressing the idea that something is not true. And the symbol for negation is this little, I call it a twiddle, but it's actually the same symbol that we used in set theory to represent, had a brain fart, not equal, but equivalent. There we go. Whew. Equivalent statements. So let's see. Part A says, the high definition screen is included in the price of your MacBook. If you want to negate that, you would say that the high definition screen is not included in the price of your MacBook. And they're letting P represent that statement. So if you want to include the word not, you need to include a negation symbol in front of the P. And then the same thing for the next one. The blue whale is the largest living creature. Now that is B, and if you want to negate B, you have to say the blue whale is not the largest living creature. So you're inserting the word not into both of these. Right here is not. And that's all there is to negating something. So if somebody says something's true, the negation would be false. If somebody says something's false, the negation would be it's true. That's all there is to negation. And the next one, a conjunction that expresses the idea of the word and. And the symbol kind of looks like the letter A, except it's missing the bar across. It's an upside down V, looks like a little teepee. Okay, so consider the following statements. Let P represent the tenant pays utilities, and D is $150 deposit is required. Express the statement, it is not true that the tenant pays utilities and $150 deposit is required symbolically. Okay, so I'm going to let the tenant pays utilities, that is letter P, right? And D is a $150 deposit is required. A $150 deposit is required, and it is connected by the word and. But it is preceded by, it is not true that. So when they say it is not true that everything I'm about to say, you have to put a negation sign in front of a set of parentheses. And then P represents the tenant pays utilities. There is the and symbol. And the letter D represents a $150 deposit is required. And that's how you'd say it. Negation and then inside parentheses. So just remember when it says, it is not true that, that is your negation symbol, and then all of this has to go inside of parentheses. Oh, technically I guess it's down here since there's more to that word or to that sentence. And then in part B, they reverse it on you. They say, I haven't used purple yet. Let's see. Write the statement in English. Okay. I see a negation symbol here and a negation symbol there. I see the letter P here and the letter D there, and then there's an and in between. Okay, so I'm basically saying the negation of P. P is the tenant pays utilities. So you would say in English, the tenant does not pay utilities. I guess the whole thing is it does not. Sorry about that. The tenant, because it was the tenant pays utilities, so the tenant does not pay utilities. And then you translate the symbol for and then there's another negation. It says negation of D. So negation of D. D is $150 deposit. So you would say a $150 deposit is not required. I'm trying to color code everything. And I'm going to stop with that slide and pick this up in another video, because we're going to move on to the next connective. So this is conjunction, and remember that conjunction is for the word and. Conjunction is and.